Chelsea was feeling depressed. She sat in the sheds looking miserable, and the workmen were there to try to make her better. Miss Lyndsey was also there too. "I'm sorry, Chelsea. I hate to say this, but you were taken ill this morning. You must go to the works to be mended." "But Miss Lyndsey, who will be doing my jobs today?" "Well, Chelsea, it all depends on how many engines that will do your work. So I think it's time for me to get 2 new engines who are willing to help out. In other words, you and the other engines can't do the shunting duties all on your own." "Yes, ma'am. I understand." While Chelsea was taken away to the works, Miss Lyndsey sent Dexter to bring 2 new engines that had been rescued from scrap and had been brought to the workshop where they could be chosen to go to their new home. "Ah, so you 2 must be the new engines I've ordered today." "Yes, we are, ma'am. I'm Joanne, and this is my brother, Kash." "Oh, hi there, Dexter." "Hey, Kash. I wasn't expecting to see you today, but it's good to see you again." "Do you 2 know each other?" "Yes, ma'am. Dexter and I are friends back in Barrington. Now, here's my sister joining us where he took us here." "I didn't know you and Dexter are friends." "Of course you didn't." "Well, it is nice to know you've been seeing each other for quite a long time, you 3. Anyway, once you're both repaired and mended, Dexter will show you both what to do." "Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am." "Works for me, then." When the 2 engines are mended and repainted, they both set off with Dexter, and soon they were very busy. Joanne was very happy. She came to shunt coaches and freight cars, ready to arrange them for the other engines to take. They seemed to be very pleased with her whenever they saw her. The same could be said for Kash. The brown tank engine likes shunting like Joanne does. But as he was carefully shunting freight cars, he gave the coaches a scout look wherever he went. "About time I've done shunting those rigid coaches. Time for me to have a nice drink at the station." "Hey, Kash. I saw you doing well shunting those coaches for the engines to take. They seem to appreciate how you've done splendidly so far." "Oh, I know. At least I won't have to deal with the rotten passengers who I bet hold grudges against me like they had before." "Kash, you know you shouldn't be saying something like that about the passengers just because you had a mishap pulling them to the castle a long time ago." "Why not? I get tired of them bragging about how useless and a load of scrap iron I was after that accident, and Kimberly had come to help me while Smokey Joe took me to get repaired. Thankfully, I wasn't damaged at all. However, I got in trouble for the rough times with the coaches. I'm glad I don't want to pull them ever again." "You may not want to pull coaches again, but Miss Lyndsey may want you to try it sometimes. Besides, I sometimes take passengers along the main line, and I was basically taking passengers on Dexter's branch line." "And why do you think I should try it sometimes?" "Because passengers are important to us engines on this railway. You never know, one day it will happen when you're willing to try pulling coaches, like Joanne does it sometimes when she told us a real story." "Exactly right. Now, I'd best get back. My next train is for another hour. Goodbye, you 2. Every Wednesday, Deborah takes the afternoon train from Southwestern Station. She always enjoys it because it is a departing train every engine could ever imagine. But today, it is different. Deborah was taking a very special train. Now, instead of departing from the regular side of Southwestern, Deborah was supposed to leave in the opposite direction as it had traveled to Kelpie Station before making her way to Henrietta Town Station, where Bethany would pick up the train. Deborah, however, was still in the sheds, looking glum. She was feeling ill, like Chelsea was, and the workmen couldn't do anything to make her better. So Miss Lyndsey had to decide which engine that shall pull the train. Botheration! I've got to find another engine that will pull the train while Deborah and Chelsea are away. Miss Lyndsey drove to the yards, where she found Joanne and Kash still busy shunting. Hello, Miss Lyndsey. What's the matter? Well, it appears that Deborah has been sent to the works to be mended due to her illness this morning. I can't have any more engines that are available to pull the special train, so I would like either of you to take it for her. I love to help, but I'm afraid I'll be doing some extra work around here. Kash can pull Deborah's train. What? That settles then. Kash, you'll be the engine to do the job until Deborah returns. Kash was horrified, but before he could say anything, Miss Lyndsey walked to her car and drove away. Good luck having your fun time pulling the train, Kash. Passengers cannot be late for their journey, you know. Why can't you do it? You're good enough to pull coaches. Sorry, I've got some other work to do around here. Besides, you're the only engine available like Miss Lyndsey said so. Anyway, good luck on your first passenger run. Kash went red in the face, but said nothing as he reluctantly went to collect the special train. Bother! This is too much for me to handle. I can't pull coaches like these here. Sorry, Kash, but you know the rules. We must do what we're told, or the passengers will complain. Humph! They will complain all right. They've complained enough about what happened last time when I took them to show the castle along the route before. Anyway, the sooner I finish this, the sooner I get back to shunting and pulling freight cars. Slowly but surely, the train moved out of the station and out onto the open line. Alright, fine. If those engines wanted me to be real useful, then I'll soon show them that I can only pull coaches just this once. Soon Kash made it through along the main line. And next, he came to the steepy slope along the hill. Kash knew it must be very steep for him to keep puffing whilst pulling the train, but he mustn't let his driver stop him from going halfway up because he was concerned that he might break down on the hill. Leave it to me, driver. I can manage just fine. I don't care what the others think. I'll soon show them who's real useful. Kash had made it over the hill and soon arrived at Kelpie Station. He was very tired, but also felt very pleased to arrive at his destination. Phew! I never thought this could be so important to the engines when it comes to pulling passengers. Huh? What's this? What's Bethany doing over there and Miss Lyndsey too? Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting to see you here. I'm so glad you've come to take over for Deborah. Well, I thought it could be better if I refused to get stuck on a hill whilst pulling the train here, so nothing ever happens to me though. At least you got here on time, Kash. I've heard from Joanne that you seem to have some experiences with coaches before, and I can understand why you don't seem to like pulling them. It's true, Miss Lyndsey. I was once in an engine who became so confident in front of my friends about how real useful I was to pull freight cars, and I should have think twice before speaking to begin with. That's why I got in trouble for my behavior back then. Plus, I'm stick with pulling freight cars that are more suitable than passengers. I was hoping the sooner I'll get back to the yards and finish my work. Of course you will, Kash. I've heard this story from Dexter too when he had told me everything. I know you may not like pulling passengers, but it is important to all my engines on this railway. They always have come to collect their own coaches for their train before preparing to start their journey with their passengers. But I know some engines are stick with pulling freight cars, like you do, that is more suitable than pulling coaches all the time. So today, I think you've proven to me that you are a real useful engine. You shall be back pulling freight cars as much as you like. Kash was surprised that he didn't know what to say. Thank you, Miss Lyndsey. Also, I just don't like my name, Kash, because it's so wasteful that I was nicknamed after the money. So, I just wonder if I'm willing to be given a new name that will suit me. Yes, indeed. In fact, I think I know one that will suit you better. The next day, as Joanne arrived back in the yards to fetch coaches for Wyatt's Express, she saw her brother pulling in, collecting some freight cars. Hello, Kash. It's nice to have you back in the yards. How is your first passenger run going yesterday? Oh, it's Josh Row now, Joanne. Or Josh for short. Miss Lyndsey gave me the new name that suits better than the one I used to be. Josh? Oh, I like the sound of it. Indeed. And to answer your question, it's going very smoothly, I must admit. I never thought some engines like to be pulling coaches until I've learned not all the engines like to pull passengers all the time, because some engines like me had to pull freight cars, which is why I'm suited for my own duty here. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you've proven yourself again. This second chance of yours was probably the luckiest second chance an engine could ever have. I know. I guess I did what I could to make the passengers happy at once. Even though Josh didn't want to admit he was used to pulling coaches now, he is still the same engine who is used to pulling freight cars. He knows that now passengers are important for engines to take out on journeys.